Hello everyone and welcome to Say It with Symbols 2.3. We're going to be working on B, C, and D here in 2.3. Our learning target is we want to use the relationship between the three shapes, these three shapes we have up here, to write equations for the volume of a cone, a cylinder, and a sphere to be able to solve problems. 2.3 begins on page 31 for us, and the aces for 2.3 are going to be 10, 11, and 41 through 43. In 2.3, we're dealing with volumes of cylinders, cones, and spheres, and we're going to be making candles. Well, we aren't, but somebody is. Rocky Middle School is sponsoring a charity event. They plan to make us and sell candles at the outdoor market in the city. Andy's committee is in charge of designing the candles. They designed three different shapes. They have a sphere, a cone, and a cylinder. We're going to say that the molds for the three types of candles have the same radius and height. So the same radius for this cylinder as there is for this cone, as there is for this sphere, and all three of them are also the same height. So it asks us, what is the relationship among the volumes of these three candles? And we're going to skip part A and jump to B. And if we look down here, number one, write the relationships among the three containers and words, and then do algebraic equations for them. So it gives us a little more information up here. It says the containers have the same height h and inside radius r. So same radius for all of them, same height, which means that the inside diameter of the sphere is equal to the height. So the sphere diameter is the same as the height, or 2r equals h, if you want to look at it that way. So then Andy wants to find these relationships. What if we look at these three things, what can we compare for volume? Is the sphere the same volume as the cylinder or the cone, or are they portions of one another? Okay, and then go ahead and come up with the equations. And part two is use the relationships in part one to write an expression for finding the volume of a cone with height h and radius r, and a sphere with radius r. Okay, so we want to find those two equations as well. Then parts C and D. Price of each candle is based on the cost of wax plus markup for profit. If the cylindrical candle sells for $12, what should be the prices of the other two candles? If you look back at the relationships you had between your cylinder, your cone, and your sphere, and what you wrote down for those, hopefully you can then find out what prices we should put on the other candles. If this one is 12, how much should the cone be and how much should the sphere be? And finally in D, Andy decides to sell cylindrical candles, these ones with a radius of 3 inches, and a height of 1.25 feet. Well, this is inches, this is feet. We need them to both be the same unit of measure, so let's convert our 1.25 feet to inches, which you'll wind up with 15 inches for your height. Ask you how much liquid wax does Andy need to make the candle, and describe the dimensions of a rectangular candle that uses the same amount of wax. So what's the volume of a rectangle? What's that formula? And what might be some of the dimensions that we could use? There could be more than one set, so use what you think might be best. That's it. And again, our ACES problems for 2.3 are 10, 11, 41 through 43. Thank you, and look forward to your questions and comments in class.